Carly Emery, producer, Red Billabong.
And I'm Luke Sparke, the director-writer of Red Billabong.
So I studied at the Frampton Institute of Cinematographic Makeup. So that's where I started out. I actually met Luke on a job, one of my first jobs actually, and then kind of networked and started moving up together and got into associate producing on another very large film that's still in the works. And then we started producing a TV show which went to Foxtel. And then I produced Red Billabong, so my first feature film, and I'm very proud of it.
And myself, my family owns a largest costume house in Australia, which I've worked on many films with that, through like Wolverine, The Pacific, Peninsula 60, a whole bunch of other stuff. I always wanted to be a director, so I used while I was on set to basically take this one big apprenticeship and learn the tricks of the trade and network, and in the meantime just keep writing my own stuff, and then just used it and just got feedback of different scripts, and then after did the TV show for Carly, had this one in the pipeline which I started writing in 2007, and there we go.
For production.
It's all, I guess it's all relative to what each production is. Everyone uses their own way. I'm sure everyone has their own way of how they can get in and what they can do with their scripts. I mean, I wrote it while I was doing the Pacific, so while I was in the Pacific, I sat at lunch and asked some actors to read it and give some feedback, and that's always a handy thing to have, because I always say to people that the best thing you can do is just get on set, and if you want to learn, everything's there to learn. I see a lot of people these days use it like a public service, and they just get there and they do their thing 8 hour a day and go home, and then they wonder why, I wish I could be a director, I wish I could do an actor, I wish I could get high. It's like, if you're an actor, an extra, just soak it all in. It's all there. That's what I did. And it's paid off. So Red Billabong is a action adventure film set in the outback of Australia, where story with two brothers. Sort of the whole story is the underlying thing of the brothers coming to terms with each other, and then the overarching story is obviously there's a big monster in the outback that is there sort of hunting people down. But I definitely wanted to keep the story about the brothers, because I'm the oldest of 5 brothers, no sisters, so I sort of was able to use that to keep the story sort of gelled, because we don't have the huge special effects budget that American films do, and it can have a flashy monster and big explosions, but I think Australians are really good at creating like really human drama. So I wanted to create a human drama, but not my first film be a human drama story, because I think there's a lot of them out there and they're all really great, and that's great, but I wanted my one to be a bit more popcorn action adventure. So I used the human drama that Australians do really well, and then put this action sort of package around it. And it's fun. It's a fun movie, and that's why I wanted just something fun. Like you can just go like Jurassic Park and just have fun with it. We came to Supernova Sydney last year, like weeks after we finished shooting, and I wanted to really get the groundswell of support from like the pop culture crowd, because I think they're going to get a kick out of this movie with obviously a monster and everything else. And I think Australia doesn't do marketing that well in this day and age, and we can do better. And with social media at your fingertips these days, it's not. You can have a really good strategy marketing plan to do using what you got to use it to your advantage. So we came down last year, and since then we've gone to Comic-Con Brisbane, Sydney Comic-Con, Gold Coast Comic-Con, Melbourne Comic-Con, and then just this last weekend we've been at Sydney Supernova, and this weekend we go to Perth Supernova, and that ends our little pop culture campaign. So all of those. From the very first one we were here in Sydney last year, we were just this little booth over in the corner in the back wall that no one knew what Red Billabong was, and now we're able to go there with a triple booth and have photo booths, and people are coming up all day saying they think this is going to change the game, and that's humbling to hear. Especially that usually you go to these conventions and the film's already out, or it's an actress that you like in a movie like Buffy or something, and you can go, in episode 21, what did you do here? And no one knows, no one's seen Red Billabong apart from trailers. So it's great that people even rock up, because my biggest concern always was we rock up and there's like one person going, yay, Red Billabong. But we don't get that at all. So it's really, really nice that Australians are getting behind it. And then we're going to start a big social media campaign starting this month, and that rolls into August with the release. Well, again, with social media, I'm a huge fan of social media doing it. So, like, the moment we started production, we were doing, like, video diaries on set, up to date, things to keep people involved, giveaway competitions, and just try to get that support. So Facebook's really, like, especially the last couple of months, it's, like, exploded on our Facebook page, which is really, really good. So I think it is a really good tactic to get in there really early. We're basically running the whole show. You know, the six of us in our production office is kind of doing everything. So we're all got different hats on, but because it's a passion to do it, our distributor really likes us to just let us go, which is, I think, a good model for a distributor to do, because to them it's just a film that they've bought, but for us it's like our livelihood. So to be able to be let loose from a distributor is a really nice feeling. So I really enjoy the guys that we got working with us.
It's very, very full on, and the passion involved from everyone, because we've given up everything for this film, you know, because it's do or die. If you're going to do something, you know, you got to do your best.
Yeah.
That way you know
it's our
that
first
at least
feature.
you tried.
Yeah, it's our first feature, so everything's on the line with us. We just threw it all in.
Yeah, even our families are involved, so it's, there's a lot riding on it.
Well, for our production office and our company, Sparke
Yeah.
Films, like as I said, primarily costume, and this is our first foray into doing it. Like I said, I've always wanted to be a director, so you had to sort of take the leap. You know, I sold all my Star Wars collection to finance myself. You know, just to that was a big risk. So I had to just back myself. So that was this. Once I did that, I was like, I'm on my own now, and you know, this is it. And the monster, I straight away from the start. You know, if you make a monster movie, you got to make sure it's iconic, because otherwise what are you doing it for? So that's why we spent more money on that than anything else. And with this day and age, you know, with the prosthetics, and I'm a huge fan of, like I said, 80s, so I wanted to do as much as I could practically, like build arms and legs and backs. But with what I wanted him to do to make it iconic, it wouldn't have allowed to build a whole creature, so a lot of it is CGI. So then I knew we had to get someone really good, and we ended up getting a company who's done a lot of work on like Marvel, the Avengers, so he looks good. You know, finance wise, it was really hard, and I financed it all privately, and now we also use the producer offset to finance the end of it, which we're doing now, but the rest of it was all privately financed. So if I take one thing away, it would be next time, which I always knew, next time would be finance straight up, all there in the, you know, ready to go. This one, because it was privately financed, I was still like moving along, getting investors as we were going. So that was always stressful, you know, to make sure that
No one backed out.
deadlines were met.
Last minute,
and then you know, some finance did fall through at one point in time, so that's put a big spanner in the works. So that was a huge stressful time. But we got through it. We came back, and you know, we got new investors that came in, and they've all been great. All our investors are basically just hardworking Aussies that just, you know, like this film and like the project. And when I decided to make that call and not go on that film and work on my own film, I had to teach myself all about budgets and finance plans and strategies and all that kind of stuff. And they like it, and they saw promise in the picture and how well it can do, the potential. So I guess that was the most stressful thing of the whole show, was the financing. We shot on the RE Alexas, which are great. I got no problem with them. We shot two cameras simultaneously for the whole film, A and B unit, plus a Steadicam rig, and lots of other little tricks like drones and little 5Ds here and there on trucks where we do some where we do some chasing of a truck up through the bush. We have a couple of quad bikes with cameras mounted on them, and that all worked out really well. So yeah. Post will go right up until delivery. Like the basic post has been done, the monster's still going, and I think my artist guy is going to be working on that. I'm going to have to like literally pull the DCP out of their hands to get it to cinemas. So I think they're going to be going right up until release. Like anything, you could spend another year doing tweaking little things here and there. We had to set a date with our VFX guys. So yeah, everything's done apart from him, apart from the monster. And we're working right up. We're showing the film for the first time fully at the Vision Outback Film Festival the 1st of July, which is only like 2 weekends away. So that's a bit daunting. In Winton. So it's a great. I couldn't pass up having an Outback screening with a film set in the Outback, and I'd love to film at Winton as well. I'd love to film a sequel if we get there. If we get to film a sequel out at Winton. So yeah, and then after Winton is July, just cleaning up just a few other things, and then ready for August. For me, I'll just stick to my side. You can stick to the numbers side. To me, just keep working on scripts. Just keep writing. That's the best thing you can do. Is to get a team that is collaborative and you can trust. And I guess the same for the actors as well. Get actors that you can trust and be collaborative with. That's 2.
Yeah, just never give up. Just, you know, anything worth fighting for, you just gotta keep going.
That's
no
not
matter
a
what.
tip. That's a saying.
It's a tip too. Just keep going, no matter what. Like I said, we hit so many brick walls, but we somehow smash through them, and it just goes to show that you can come through it. There's always a way around it. Just work together. Just no matter what, stick together. You know, when times get tough, just keep it going and don't,
And my last tip is to make a good movie. Make it good.
Make a movie that you want to watch.
Yeah. I think that's the best one.
Yeah.
Make a movie that you want to watch. Because I made this movie that I know I like it at the end of the day, and I think it's being independent. I had no one really to tell me no until later on. Like the distributors never come on later on after it's already shot it. So I'm able to sit there and go, I like this movie. And if someone comes up to me and says, your movie sucks, I can say, well, at least I like it. Where the other way is you're listening to everyone else, and someone comes up to you, and if you compromise too much and change your vision or change your story, someone comes up to you and says your movie sucked, and you have to go, I shouldn't listen to those guys, you know, and you feel, you know, a bit bad inside. At least this way I can go, I like it.
Again, back yourself.
Yeah.
Always back yourself. Go with your gut. Yeah.